launched footwear, designed jewelry and glasses, furniture, sculpture, and of course your music, TV, film, and digital.
This is getting awkward.
I know. Now I have a man crush, I'm sorry. But Esquire even named you the best dressed man in America a couple years ago. Anything you haven't done yet? Or what haven't you done that you still need to do? What's your Everest, other than literally Everest?
How does one answer that question with humility?
I know, I put you on the spot again, didn't I?
Yeah.
But is there anything coming up that you're sort of excited about that you've just done?
Let me say it this way,
before
I can even move on. All those things that you've rang off just now, those are all blessings, and I'm appreciative for all those opportunities.
Yeah.
I wouldn't dare to ask for another thing. I think I'm juggling enough.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for all of these things.
What you've got. Well, you also are developing a TV show. You're which is also new. Talk a little bit about that, getting into new production.
We are looking at this opportunity and new endeavor into television and film as an opportunity to diversify and tell many different stories of people who, the unsung folks, and it excites us because we recognize that these stories can be told in different ways and not just the stereotypical ways.
You were nominated, of course, for an Oscar for Happy. You may have heard that song, I don't know. It was on the radio for a bit. One of the biggest songs of all time. So, what, 10 million copies it sold? 12 million? Give or take a few million, okay.
You know, I was just like an antenna. I was a vessel. That was just what was coming out at the time. If I didn't do it, somebody else would have done it. And I'm grateful that I was able to be a part of that.
Yeah.
You can't, that film needed a song that helped communicate this guy Gru, who in a previous full film, he was like this dark guy who found humor in dry, really wrong things. He was really negative about things, and he enjoyed being negative because of what happened to him when he was young. And then in the next film, all of a sudden he finds love and he's happy, and that was like the hardest thing for me to do. I think 8 or 9 songs in, I was just, it wasn't working. And finally I was just like, man, how do you make a song about a guy that's just so happy that like nothing can bring him down? And then that's what it was. I just had to like exhaust all of my egotistical attempts before, like, this is gonna be it, tell me, and they were like, no. Okay, this one is. This is exactly what it is, And that kept happening, and then finally when I just got to a place of like, okay, I don't know anymore. I mean, I don't know, the guy's happy, nothing can bring him down. Happy. I've always made music like a culinary artist who makes different cuisines,
Yeah.
Those fusion restaurants, that's my music. It's just a
little dash of this, little dash of that.
A little mix.
Yeah.
A little mixture.
But it's also a song that sort of, that's the case of a song that reaches every generation, every demographic, old, young, everyone, universal.
That's a tall order, if you think about everything that you just named. And if I thought about making music and bringing that recipe, I don't think that I would get anything done.
Yeah.
That's a grande. Yeah. You can tell I don't drink coffee. I'm better when I'm given a subject or an order of something. Not that one, but like direction, or if there's something that like a film needs, then I can assist in what it may need. But making music for myself has always been very tough. And that's because as a producer, I pride myself in being like a mirror for other artists. Like, okay, look. Okay, turn to the side. No one has seen this side of your career yet. Let's do that. Okay, cool, great. But because I am such a mirror for like, you know, that's kind of like my strength. When it comes to me, it's like putting a mirror in front of itself. There's no image. So you can't really do anything. I'm only really good when there's something standing in front of me. Like I don't find myself inspiring in that way as I do other people. I'm like, oh my God, people don't even know you can sing in this way. Oh man, no one's ever heard you talk about this aspect of your life. Like that's my job.
Yeah, well that's how you've never been pigeonholed, right? I mean, because you've worked with every kind of artist, you've basically almost done every style of music now. So is that sort of conscious, or is that just who you are? That's kind of what you're into.
I just think I like working with other people. I find other people so interesting. You know, each person is their own university. And when you work with them, it's like you're just taking courses.
Films that you're interested in? Are you looking for stories that maybe haven't been told? You know, stories that, or groups that haven't really been sort of exposed to the masses?
We like stories that have unique emotional sparkles to them. When you just go, oh, okay, that's interesting. Because then, number one, you don't have to compete with other people who have been doing this for, you know, 50, 11 years, and who are really good at it, and like, you know, who will look at you and be like, well, what are you doing in this genre? I mean, what are you doing? So like when the story is unique enough, it's kind of like its own thing. You know, it's kind of like when the Wu-Tang Clan came out. Like you couldn't judge it because it was something else. You either liked it or you didn't like it, but it was something else. And to me, that's why I look at RZA as a genius, or like Tarantino. You know, he's created his thing. It's like his own path. You know, or like Kubrick. These are people who just do things that are a little different than what everybody else does.
Yeah.
And then the only thing they have to do is just work on it being undeniable versus being competitive.
Yeah. Well, you know, what's interesting is, you know, you surprise sometimes too. You know, for example, you decided to go into voice. You did 4 cycles of The Voice. You won one of them.
Yeah.
What made you decide to do that and you know, try your hand at you know, TV and a music show?
Because I went on as a mentor one time to help usher, and I just, man, and you know, I have like a helping, kind of like a helping thing. And then you just get addicted to helping people. It's kind of like, no, don't hit that note. No. Don't do that. No, not that note, the other one. And then when they do it, you're like happy for them. It was like, you guys watch Hunger Games. You know, I was kind of like Woody Harrelson. It's like, you really screwed that up. Okay? You know, but, or like, yes! And you're like cheering, and it has nothing to do with you. You're just in the service of others. Like that's, I got a kick out of that. But then it was like, okay, look, I really want to concentrate on music. I gotta make music.
Yeah.
So this has been like super exciting to be like in the middle of like music hardcore.